Everyone in town called him the Beast. Chained to a post, sold for $5, he was a creature no one dared approach. But when a little girl pointed at him and asked softly, "Daddy, can I buy that dog?" the officer froze. He knew that face. The small town of Marlow carried many stories, but none were whispered more than the tale of the chained dog on Main Street. He sat beneath a crooked lamppost outside a shuttered store, his heavy chain clinking whenever he shifted. A battered piece of cardboard leaned against the post, scrawled in black marker, $5 for the Beast. Children were told never to go near him. Shopkeepers shook their heads, muttering that the dog had a mean streak, that he was unpredictable. Strangers passing through crossed to the other side of the street, avoiding his piercing eyes that seemed to follow every step. His ears drooped low, his coat once bright now dulled, but the fear surrounding him was stronger than any bark. To the townspeople he was a warning, a shadow, a menace. Yet behind those amber eyes something far different lingered, something no one had cared enough to see. It was a golden Saturday evening when Officer Daniels decided to take his daughter for a walk down Main Street. The sun dipped low, spilling long shadows across the cracked pavement, painting the town in a warm, gentle glow. He walked in his crisp blue uniform, his broad shoulders and steady stride reflecting the respect he commanded everywhere he went. But by his side was the true light of his life, his daughter, Emma. Emma was only 6, wearing her favorite red dress that flared with every step. 2 neat pigtails framed her bright, curious face. She skipped lightly, her small hand gripping his much larger one, the contrast between them almost symbolic. Strength and innocence, protection and trust. Wherever she went, Emma carried a kind of magic. Her laughter softened hardened faces. Her questions often left her father speechless. That evening, her eyes wandered, scanning the shops, the people, and the streets. She was a child full of wonder, noticing things her father often missed. Then, as if drawn by an unseen force, her steps slowed. Her gaze locked onto a pair of sad, watchful eyes. She stopped suddenly, tugging at her father's arm. Emma's small hand tugged harder on her father's, her voice dropping to a whisper as if she were afraid the world might overhear her secret thought. "Can I buy that dog, Daddy?" she asked softly, her wide eyes fixed on the chained German shepherd. Officer Daniels froze mid-step. He followed her gaze to the animal slumped against the lamppost. The cardboard sign glared back at him, $5 for the Beast. His jaw tightened. He had heard the rumors, the warnings. This dog was dangerous, untamable. The last thing he wanted was his daughter anywhere near it. "No, Emma," he said firmly, trying to guide her away. But Emma held her ground, her eyes shimmering with quiet defiance. "He's not a beast, Daddy. Look at him," he said. Daniels turned again, really looking this time, and in that instant, something shifted. The officer's breath caught. His face went pale. For a long moment, Officer Daniels couldn't move. His eyes locked on the dog, and everything else, the chatter of townsfolk, the cars rolling past, even Emma's tug on his sleeve, faded into silence. The German shepherd stared back, not with malice, but with something far more haunting. Recognition. The dog's ears twitched as Daniels took a cautious step closer. His posture wasn't aggressive. No bared teeth, no snap of jaws. Instead, his muscles seemed coiled with unease, his gaze darting between the officer and the little girl beside him. Daniels's chest tightened. He had seen this look before, not in a stray but in a working partner under pressure, waiting for a command. A flood of memories surged through him. Nights on patrol, sirens blaring, a loyal canine racing at his side. The protective stance, the unwavering loyalty, it was all too familiar. He knew that bearing, that silent readiness. The realization hit him like a jolt of lightning. This wasn't just any abandoned dog. This was a soldier left behind, a warrior mislabeled a beast. And as Daniels stood frozen, heart hammering, he couldn't shake the terrifying thought. He knew this dog. Years slipped away in an instant as Officer Daniels's mind dragged him back to a night he could never forget. The chaos of flashing sirens, the shouts of fellow officers, and the pounding of his own heartbeat filled his memory. Beside him had run his partner, not a man, but a four-legged guardian with unshakable loyalty. The German Shepherd had saved him once, lunging into danger when an armed suspect turned. Daniels remembered the sound of the gunshot, the cry that tore from his throat as the dog collapsed beside him. He had cradled that loyal partner, blood soaking his hands, whispering, "Stay with me, boy. Please stay." Against all odds, the dog had survived, but he was deemed unfit for duty. Daniels had been told a kind family would adopt him, that his partner would live out his days in comfort. But standing here now, staring into those amber eyes, he saw the truth. The scar along the dog's shoulder, the faint patch of missing fur. It was undeniable. His heart wrenched. The beast wasn't a stranger. He was Shadow. His shadow. The partner he had lost, the friend he thought gone forever. Emma tugged at her father's sleeve again, her voice trembling with hope. "Daddy, he remembers you. Don't you see? He's not scary. He's just lonely." Her little eyes shimmered, filled with a kind of certainty only a child could hold. Officer Daniels swallowed hard, his throat tight. Part of him wanted to shield her, to drag her away from the risk. The town's whispers echoed in his mind. Dangerous, unstable, a beast. Could he let his daughter near him? Could he trust his instincts after all these years? Yet as he looked down, he saw the way Emma pressed her small hand against the chain, not with fear but with compassion. The German Shepherd didn't lunge. He didn't growl. Instead, he lowered his head, ears back as though surrendering. Daniel's heart ached. His daughter saw innocence where he saw danger. And deep inside, guilt whispered, maybe she was right. Officer Daniels took a slow, deliberate breath. His hand hovered over the rusted chain, the metal links biting into the dog's neck. For years, the townspeople had seen that chain as protection, keeping a beast locked away. But to Daniels, it suddenly looked like a prison. He knelt, down, his movements cautious. The German Shepherd didn't snarl. Instead, he inched forward, pressing his head into the officer's hand with a desperate familiarity. Daniel's chest tightened. This wasn't aggression. This was recognition. With one sharp twist, the lock snapped open. The chain clattered to the ground, echoing through the silent street. The crowd gasped, some stepping back in fear. But what happened next left them frozen. The dog didn't bolt. He didn't attack. He leaned against Daniels, tail trembling, eyes glistening with a softness long buried. Emma clapped her hands, her voice ringing out. "See, Daddy, he remembers you." The street, once filled with whispers of fear, now stood in stunned silence. Officer Daniels rose slowly. The freed German Shepherd pressed firmly against his side. Emma wrapped her tiny arms around the dog's neck, her laughter light and pure. For the first time in years, the shepherd's tail wagged, sweeping the dust from the ground. Daniels looked at his daughter, her red dress glowing in the evening light, and then at his old partner. The weight of regret he had carried for years seemed to lift in that moment. What the world had labeled a beast was, in truth, a guardian, one who had never stopped waiting. "Let's take him home," Daniels said softly, his voice breaking. Emma beamed, her smile brighter than the sunset behind them. Together they walked forward, father, daughter, and loyal friend, toward a future that promised healing, love, and second chances.